Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well during this very strange weather week if you are living in the Midwest. We are going to talk today about one of my favorite topics, and it is spending time with Jesus. Now, before you think I'm going to share all of these how-tos with you, which we will get to some practicals, but I want to more so share the heart behind spending time with God and why we do it. Spending time with God is by far the most productive thing you could ever do with your time, and I'm going to tell you why. And it is not a religious answer. You are changed when you are sowing into your relationship with the God that made you. You are learning His voice, getting to know more of His heart. You are quieting yourself away from the hustle of life to be with Him, and you are receiving from Him all at the same time. You are receiving His peace, His joy, His affection that He has for you, which will then in turn cause you to love yourself. Whatever it is that you need, my friends, that is where you will find it, in the hand and in the heart of your Maker. We do not spend time with God just so that He won't be disappointed in us. It's not so that we can do good works, and it's not so we can earn our salvation. Praise God that there is not a thing that we could do to earn God's grace. That is why it is called grace. So if you have a bad taste in your mouth when I talk about spending time with God, and you think that it's this boring religious task that you should get to do to check it off the list or make sure you're a good Christian, then you are completely missing the point. And I say that in so much love, but you're also probably not likely understanding how incredibly loved you are by Him, and that He truly does care about every single detail of your life, and that He wants to hear about it, and He enjoys you. You know that He made you. He enjoys His children's company. Just like any kind father that wants to spend time with their children, they don't want to be forced, or they don't want their children to have to be forced to want to be with them. God does not want forced company either. If you have never heard someone talk about spending time with God like this, then I am honored to share with you something different today. Maybe you completely know all of these things that I just shared. You have an amazing time with Jesus when you sit with Him, and you're just here to see how other people do it because you're curious, and that is amazing too. Learning His voice is such a beautiful journey. He is anything but boring, but I would be lying if I did not say that there have been times where I have felt kind of directionless with how to spend time with Him at certain times. I think that this is normal because at the end of the day, we are currently beings that exist in the natural, and we are interacting with a supernatural God that is bigger and beyond what we could ever comprehend. So yes, I do think there are going to be times where we're not sure where to start, and I think that that is okay. I'm very passionate about this because there's just nothing more that will transform your life more than spending time with Him. I've experienced this myself. I've been transformed by Him. I've loved God my whole life, but it wasn't until I actually started spending time with Him, like committed time to Him, because you know He's everywhere. You can always be talking to Him. But starting to spend committed time to where my heart is turned towards Him and I'm seeking to get to know Him more is what transformed my life. This looks different in different seasons, and I cannot tell you what it should look like for you in your season, but I can tell you that it will transform your life. For me, it's always changing. He will always give you what you need for that day, though. That is what does not change. I truly think that we make this so religious and formulated and complicated, and it is just not. Think about the person that is closest to you, that you trust and you know better than anybody, and they know all your stuff, and it just doesn't even matter what you're doing. You could be doing the coolest, funnest adventure ever, or just watching Netflix. You just enjoy each other's company. You could be talking or not talking. That is what the Father is like. You can talk to Him when you are doing everything and tell Him everything, or you could just be with Him and be aware of His presence and turn your heart towards Him. He is always with you, and He is waiting for you just to turn your heart to Him and engage with Him. For me, when I started spending intentional time with God, I just felt this overwhelming like confidence in who I was, the reason that I was alive, and the fear of others, or just like the fear of what man thought, what people thought, melted from my life. And people noticed whether they believed in Jesus or not, that something had been changing in my life. And it was just truly unexplainable. And to this day, if I'm not leaning into his strength, I feel very reminded at the only way I can operate in that peace is when I am choosing to live in what he gives to me and the strength that he has provided for me. Because me, myself, I struggle with anxiety. I feel very insecure. I get really stuck in my head about silly things. And it is his peace and joy and freedom that transforms me and transformed me back then and continues to transform me day after day. Today, this is the journey that you enter into when you commit time with Jesus. Okay, that was some of my heart behind this topic. I could go on forever, but let's get into the practicals of this. So when I think of time with Jesus, I kind of have these like two categories in my mind, two things that should happen when we're spending time with the Lord. The first thing would be we have to have a way to unload everything that we've been carrying, our burdens, our worries, our cares. That stuff all has to come out because it's clogging us up. And then the other thing is we need to have a way where we are getting filled back up again with his truth, his presence, his joy, space again inside of us where we can receive from him. So these are two things that I think about when, we're trying to figure out, how do I like to spend time with Jesus? Well, what's something that helps you get things off of your chest? Do that with him. What's something that then again fills you back up? Again, do that with him. This is going to differ person to person. When I think of moments where I need to release what I'm carrying, that could look like many things, like crying in the carpet to worship music in the moment of something happening really hard, or journaling everything on paper, spilling it out to somebody I trust, or going on a run, or playing the piano with no words and just feeling the music just melt away everything without even a word. Those are things that I love to do. It just feels so therapeutic and it's healing, and he knows my thoughts. It doesn't always need to even involve words. It's crazy. But I also do love journaling because I feel like seeing everything that I'm going through and all the cares that I'm carrying, and then being able to kind of look back once you kind of get it off your chest, for me, it gives me, just stirs me to be kind to myself. Like, oh my gosh, well, no wonder I was feeling this way. Look at everything that I was carrying. And then I get to kind of look back, and then I get to see what I've been through and just the journey that God has brought me on over the years. I also cannot wait to give my journals that I have kept since I was in middle school to my daughter someday. Just what a legacy for her to literally see all of my history with God and all of the battles I have fought with him and the things he's brought me through. I just can't think of anything more incredible to gift to my child. And then to be filled back up again, or to be able to receive from him and see what he has for me. I do things like read my Bible. Y'all know I will just always talk about how we need to root ourselves in the Word of God. There's nothing more important than rooting yourself in his truth. So reading my Bible, of course. Sometimes I just read a chapter at a time and I can just feel it melt away whatever worry I was feeling. Sometimes it doesn't always feel that way, but whether you feel it or not, it's transforming something inside of you. So reading my Bible and then listening to worship music, going on walks. I love going on walks. I actually feel like going on a walk could be both. You know how we talked about the getting it off your chest portion and then also like receiving from him again. I feel like for me, going on a walk could do either of that. I feel like journaling could also be either of that. Someone that is really artistic, that could be something that helps you get something off of your chest in his presence, and then, is life-giving and fills you back up again. Doing art, going to a park, laying in a hammock. If you surf, if you, bike, literally anything. The beauty of your relationship with God is special to to your relationship with God and to who you are. So you get to include him in whatever way you get filled up, in whatever way you get things off your chest. So it is a beautiful journey. Spending time with Jesus is incredible. It will change your life. Be in his word, but also like have fun with him and get creative and branch out a little bit. If you do not like, the way that you've been spending time with the Lord, or you don't know where to start, like try something different, see what works. And I would love to hear what you guys love to do and what your go-to thing is. Whether you've been doing this for years or you're like, I feel like I'm talking to a wall. You might be talking to a wall, but you're also talking to the Lord because he's listening too. And he is just so happy that you even cared to show up. He is your father. He knit you in your mother's womb. He never leaves you. He never forsakes you. You are alive because he has created you for such a time as this. You are alive on purpose right now. And the amount of thoughts that he has about you outnumber the grains of sand on the shore. That blows my mind, but that is who he is. That is how much he loves you. Nothing that you do will make him love you more or less than he already does. He already loves you 100%, as I have heard it said before, and I love that. This is the secret place. This is where you will be transformed with him. You do not get alone with God. Do it. I challenge you. Do it. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Put your phone on silent, airplane mode, whatever. That's what I do. And just spend time with him. Talk, write, go on a walk, put your headphones in, pretend you're talking to someone on the phone and talk to him. I do that frequently, actually. I will just expose myself with that. So if you ever see me talking alone on the phone, I'm not on the phone. Love you all. Hope this was helpful. I will see you next week.